Sasandunga Chinda Chejin Chen, Yarson Mepon Shiva Jelas. Same Chen Tang the near the Donchun, Tambanam Jinin to Tsard. So good any timers. According to your compassions, and we are more investigating about our own situations. And we are now studying the word of my perfect teacher. And the first chapter, second, third chapter is already finished. Now we are on the fourth chapter, most important chapter. And it is talking about the cause or the origination, the truth of the sufferings. And this is the most important. Why? Because when we are living in the relative realities, according to the relative realities, there are many different situations. And when we are be honestly our own self, to be truthfully to our own self, then to check our life, and basically which sort of do we have, body, speech, or the verb, the mind. And of course, we according to the first chapters, and our body is we call the human body. And also according to these human bodies, and then there's something is pleasant, unpleasant things occurring. And if we also analyze to others some similarity of the ourself, maybe it's like some other human beings or some other animals, also any kind of physical to like living some creatures. There are also very much similarity of the ourself. What does it mean? It means physically, verbally, mentally, everybody's concerning happiness. That is the truth. And each moment, each picosecond, what I need to do something important for myself. Why you need to do some important, some good things for you? Because for my happiness. For my happiness. And of course, sometimes according to our mind or wisdom or analysis, or it's like kind of the realizations, and then it's our skill, and doing something is more positive, more successful, and then it's result, consequences. It's nice, happy, and joyful. And someone is, it's of course, we all of you successful life, but maybe sometimes also we made mistake and doing some negative things, and sometimes we hurting ourselves and make a joke. A few weeks ago, I wear one shoes. It's hurted me and kind of a little bit damage. And then I say, wow, that is I'm pain. First I thought this shoes is very nice. And then I'm wearing, my feet is a little damaged. Then It's more like this kind of, sometimes we are hurting. Like same way when we drink, when we're working, when we are driving. And of course inside we don't want hurt to ourselves. We are says, I want to be happy, I want to enjoy, I want to be successful. But sometimes couldn't disturb emotion or stupidity or lack of the understanding, and we do something damage our own self. And then is when we are doing something, then is occurring of the unpleasant or the sufferings. Then we says, yeah, I'm not comfortable. I'm says like a little bit wound or a little bit there is something. Even the one needle is going to in our body, says, I'm a painful, small needle or the. And this kind of unpleasant, uncomfortable sufferings, everybody don't want, absolutely don't want. My eyes a little bit itching. Can I reading this one? Like this, nice. Okay, sorry. Then it's and also it's like received a little bit. And for example, I want to say small things. When we are like meet or to be together, someone's not smiling to you, and we have something nervous. This person not smiling. And what happened? What's going on? Maybe I did something. And a little bit others, maybe there's no intention, but it's something, movement, something expressions, a little bit uncomfortable. Then we are suffering, we cries. And like small like this. If someone says like smiling, to say is maybe flattering. You are so good, the kind of happiness. How much we are looking for the small also happiness. And when we get some delicious coffee, when we, oh, so delicious, I'm happy. That. And in this perspective, everybody is looking for the happiness, isn't it? This is like obvious. And then is everybody's try to avoid sufferings. It is truth, not only you, not only me, and not only us. Everybody, even like kind of single sentient beings, there's not existence to say, I don't want happiness. I all the time say, I want happiness. I don't want suffering. I want happiness. And this is like same as we are. Therefore, Buddha said, take examples. Now it's like when we analyze cause and effect, causalities, it is very important. Now when it's like when we analyze this happiness and sorrow is without cause, no existence. Without cause, no existent happiness. Without cause, no existence of the sufferings. The suffering and the happiness is the consequence of from the cause. And then we need to think about the cause. If we don't think about the cause, only for the thinking about the result, and it's become the very, very stupid things happens. Because it's like without thinking and to expecting something, the cause, how? For example, maybe you don't believe causalities. Maybe someone say, oh, I don't want to any follow up the religious. I don't want. Okay, that's very good. We say, okay, fantastic, you can do. But in this world, in the relative, in the hour and the appearances, can you bring me, can you something to discovered without cause and any kind of effect? If there is something is without cause, something appears, then it's a surprise. And maybe you can, some Buddhists, some it's like kind of the, how do you say, hypocritical Dharma practitioners. Yeah, it's the true nature is maybe no cause. The true nature is also cause, it's nature itself. And if there's no itself, then how it is the true natures occur? And also true nature is wonderful, because the true nature cause itself is a cause, itself is the result, itself is the condition. And therefore, it itself is the cause itself perfect, itself is perfect. Then we realize that maybe using causeless, because it's, there's not depend the cause, but cause is itself. And like this, there is without cause not existence. Then we need to concern him. If we can to look at our realities, it doesn't matter you are rich, powerful, royal. When we very carefully to look, they are very busy. They are working. They are like kind of like very much sensitive, very much nervous all the times. You say, why you work? Why you be nervous? Why you are like a little bit, they're kind of nervous? Because maybe, and my happiness disappeared. Maybe I will receive something. That is the causalities. You you believe or not believe, there is kind of. And if you can to say, I don't know the really causality. Oh yes, you don't believe causality. Causality is not existence. And in this case, you also know existence. I will punch you. No, not. Why? You don't believe causality. Of course, if you punch, I'm a pain. That is the cause and effect. Causality in the Sanskrit, you say, is like karmas. When you say the karmas, something is like long hair, big, a guy or lady, I don't know, on the space watching to us. It's not like this. Some Buddhist people, they say, I don't know, maybe I will be happy or not. It depends, my karmas. And then some people say it's like the karmas looks like God or creator or the protector or something. Something there is. Karma is not kind of, karma means it's the abstract norm. It's a karma, is like meaning is our action and the result. And therefore, cause and effect is very, very important. If you want to take care of yourself, and of course, if you don't want to take care of your own self, and you don't need to take care of the causalities. Causality is inevitable. Causality is most important. If you follow the perfect way the causalities, maybe your discriminating wisdoms to understand what is right, wrong. Right, wrong. Right is the positive, wrong is the negative. And then as you do more the positive things, you receive your happiness. And also it's like when you follow the positives. What do you mean? How I can to follow the positive? There is the list of the positive path. For example, Buddha, he said, 10 positive actions. Do not kill. You are follow the positive path. Do not stealing, stole, and it's a positive path. And do not do the sexual misconduct. Do not lie. Do not do the sowing discord. Do not give a harsh word. And do not do not talk and like kind of the meaningless chapter or the like others defect things. And also in the mentally envious, covetousness, wrong view, something, the wishing harm to others. It's a kind of really not much benefit. Of course, according to our disturbed emotions, this activity is naturally occurring. It's naturally occurring. There is one Nangachuna, he said, it's like, desire, aversion, stupidities, and the action arise from these three things. Everything is the negatives. And then is what is the negative? Yesterday already we analyzed in the cause and effect. For example, when we take the negative path, maybe when you are killing, taking a life, it's negative path. And when we take this path, there's a three way. These three: desire, aversion, and stupidity. Through these three things, then we are taking the wrong path, negative path. Through the desire, maybe we killing to the other sentient beings, and then the consequence is negative. And also through our aversion, anger, we are killing the sentient beings. And also this consequence is the negative, unhappiness. We already analyzed it in the 6 realms. There is a kind of the realm of the hell realms. This hell realms comes from this path. Through this way, that the consequence is the hell. There's hot hell, cold hell, neighborhood hell. How much this kind of the result. And also through the stupidities, we are killing, taking life others. Also there is the effect, hell, hungry ghosts, so on. And then it's we need to be careful our own self, the benefits. Of course, if you have a compassion, maybe you are taking the path of the Bodhisattvas. Maybe if you don't care yourself, but you only the concerning to other sentient beings. Even if you concerning other sentient beings, first times we need our own self, moral discipline. And like a kind of, I don't want to kill. If I don't kill, it's benefit for others. I don't want to steal, because it's benefit for others. I don't want to do the sexual misconduct because it's the benefit for other kind of negative way. You are not to follow the positive kind of the path. But your maybe is to helping, to charities, to help others. I'm not sure that much the benefit. But maybe you don't doing kind of the nothing to yourself to follow this discipline, to kind of keep the 10 positive actions and to close the 10 negative actions. You're doing such a benefit, a limitless benefit for others. Of course, your benefit is naturally, automatically there. And if you don't kill, yesterday I said, how much people are happy. For example, in my perspective, if someone's in the life, okay, they say, I never disturb to others, I never give harsh word, or I never stole, I never kill, I never do the kind of misleader of the sexual misconduct. I'm like this, but I'm not intelligent, I'm not regional. Wow, this person is coming direct into our heart. Doesn't matter you're beautiful or kind, how do you say, is handsome or rich or powerful, but you have this in your life. You are the noble, you are the holy, you are the really kind of the embodiment of the happiness of other sentient beings. Therefore, it's if you can to more analyze about the causalities and to have firmly, I would say clearly, the distinctions, what is the negative, what is the positive actions, and to have like this, and then is you have this notion or the knowledges, then we automatically you can to taking care. Therefore, we are studying now, and in the monk of the 10 negative actions, we are kind of studied the 3 negative actions relate to the body. And yesterday we studied about the negative action of taking life. And also we studied under some part of the negative action of the stealing. And of course, it's like stealing is like there's three different type of the stealing. And sometimes it's like forcefully to stealing, that's you know, and sometimes secretly to stealing, as that like this. Someone is like kind of trickery way to stealing like this. Here is like a more trickery way and to stealing. Yesterday we are talking about the when we make the business. Maybe it's like to cheat to the others to get some profit to ourselves. And this sort of like cheating and like kind of trickery way, and when we do like this, then it's also is not very good. And also particularly when we become the Dharma practitioners, and to concern all the times business may be very not very good, and there is the such histories. And some lamas, monks, Dharma practitioners, of course they cannot do other things, but they said maybe we can do the business. And if we be doing the business, we are not stealing. But also business is sometimes very much kind of, how do you say, it's a negative way. It's the same as stealing. And of course, yesterday there's like when we are doing some business, maybe there's a different way. Maybe you can to sell, it's like kind of you're selling things and maybe very cheap, but you put a very high price, then you selling. And also it's like you kind of the verbally, and the clients or the buyers coming and to like kind of pray to say your things and to criticize to other things. And also it's like you go to the outside to buying things, lot of barter, how do you say, like kind of the negotiate like this and that to get as much as we say is like to benefit for us. And that is like kind of similarity to stealing. And then is a yesterday we say it's like in that this one we are making business. So business in fact involve all of the 10 negative actions, except perhaps wrong view, maybe wrong view, just at that moment, which kind of wrong views? Maybe sexual misconduct, probably also sometimes in the business, this truth. If this truth is, if existence during in the business, then absolutely there are the 10 negative actions in doubt when it's like, how do you say, in the business. When we're doing some business a little bit wrong way, you know, and these activities included 10 negative actions like this. Then when there are the deals go wrong, sometimes this business is going to wrong, maybe we made a mistake, then both sides have wasted their asset. Everyone is suffering. Maybe it's like your business partner and yourself, something you did wrong things, and then immediately destroyed. You lost your business and you damaged to others' business. I mean, it's like kind of we can to look in sometimes companies. And someone says, we are going to create this kind of electronic, this kind of medicine, telephone, computer, and anything. If you put your money inside, and we want to this create, if this like kind of the factories become successful, maybe then it's like we share these properties, and maybe 1 year after you received your money is like double, you come back. And then it's sometimes people believe very much, you put a lot of inside, and then finally corrupt, like kind of bankrupted. And then this doers is like beginning maybe has a huge mouth, Okay, I do like this, I can to earn billions, trillions, and certainly something going wrong, and then it's like a companies corrupt, and companies collapsed and bankrupt, and whatever you collect, money, and all these owners are the big kind of sufferers. It's a modern times, many happen like this. And therefore, it's like sometimes business is like doing things. It's not kind of negative things. It's there are such as negative, and very much taking care of it. And also trade may end up striving it. Sometimes it's like a whole life try to make business, really day and night, and thinking about the business, counting the monies, and like kind of the calculations is there. And finally, nothing succeeded and become very poor, and it's like the up is the striving. Having and the like kind of the brought home, open both themselves, and they are contest, counterpart is the sound, counterpart, I think so. And like kind of your business, like kind of partner, also like kind of the how do you say, trader, connectors. Sometimes you do like this, and then it's become poor, then it's lack of the food, clothes. Everybody's make big kind of problems. And absolutely true. Sometimes it's many make joke. It's one of my friends, and when I was in Tibet, she all the times make business. Let's do like this. Let's do like this, and to try to something make business. And finally, there is kind of big problems. He's completely kind of bankrupted, and he has a lot of debts, and then he run, and wife and children's left, and then there's all the other like whoever borrowed or lended money to him, and their owners came and they took everything. Some owners has such a compassion, they say, okay, now forget it, they give back. And like this, then finally it's completely run, escaped, something gone. And sometimes like this, finally, even the sometimes businesses like die by the hunger and thirsties. And therefore sometimes it's business. Also it's like all the times lamas, dharma practitioner concerning business, it's not very good. And in Tibet, sometimes it's like sometimes the monks, lamas, if they're doing the business, very bizarre kind of the, how do you say, atmosphere is very funny. And our one, the Russia Sanghas, sometimes this person's working in different countries. And then there's one Chinese companies. These Chinese companies, maybe these companies like belong that one, maybe monasteries or something. And then they are working, and of course the Chinese, the companies, most of the companies, they are student. And then it's like the companies, they said, oh, this company's owner is the monasteries. And they said, monastery has this kind of business? This person was very kind of the shock. And monasteries, how it can do they make the business? Of course, sometimes monasteries these days, I would to say, is wonderful things. Why? Because it's like monasteries, those monks, nuns, lamas, of course they have stomach, they need to eat, and they need to like kind of survive. And all the time it's like kind of the looking for the benefactors' offerings, not very good. And for example, like he make the joke, Sheji Zankar Rinpoche, and he never accept any money, and he go to in the restaurant, Even in Tibet, it's like this kind of high lamas going to the job to earn money is very shocked how they can do like this. But reality, of course, this is the best. And once is like I say, is like a little bit kind of hidingly to offer to him. And first time he looking on, he didn't see. And then when I come back, he discovered and he called me. He's shouting me very much. Next time you cannot come to see me. And you are rich. Why you give? I just a few $100. But I say it is like maybe I heard Rinpoche. You sometimes go into the restaurant and to try to get jobs. You have really it's like I told you. It's amazing kind of sad things. It's also Dharma centers is awful. Whoever to be angry is angry. There's in London there's one Tango Rinpoche center, and Tango Rinpoche is just very great master, and he said is Zanka Rinpoche we need to give one like kind of the chalet or one room, and then because he's the center in London. And then organizations, okay, yes, and they kind of give one chalet, but then it's like secretly the organizations, you need to pay. And then Zankaram says, of course I need to pay. He has per month or 200 or 300 pounds. And this chalet is per month 150 pounds. And he paid, then after he has 100 something, and then it's like he need to go to traveling, something that, and like he bought us a huge box of the Chinese instantaneous noodle, very bad for stomach. And in the morning, one packed this one, lunch time is that, in the evening. Maybe 6 years he did like this. And then it's like if Tango Rinpoche to see these organizations, to taking from Zanka Rinpoche the money, it's amazing. Sometimes organizations, it's many Dharma centers, organizations, it's like this. They just like kind of, why not? We are paying, they need to pay. And then it's Rinpoche is very happy, says, no need. If like kind of to say it's like direct to the maybe it's like someone's thinks criticize, or maybe it's Tango Rinpoche's told to the organizations, you need to take money from the Zanka Rinpoche. I think it's impossible. This is, and like this, then he's like this, but he never accept, and then he go to in the work. Sometimes there's no money, and he's working in the Chinese restaurant. But sometimes, of course, in our monasteries and some is like charities, a little bit to make a business. Maybe it's wonderful. But maybe it's taking care. Do not need to cheat like this. Or sometimes it's we say it's like monasteries, Dharma practitioners cannot make business. Then how we can to survive? And also I want to say all the time is to looking for the like sponsors. I hate it, really, completely. And also sometimes I was like a kind of practitioner says, I want to go to retreat, but I haven't got money. Someone says, can you sponsor me? I want to go to study Dharma. Can you pay for me that? All the times looking for sponsors. If you haven't got sponsors, you cannot to go. And then it's like someone sponsored, and then it's like it kind of plasticity says to get more and more. And finally, maybe it's not very much appreciated. And also it's yourself, maybe certainly your sponsors to cut it, not, and then what you do, your mind is desperate. And also yesterday I said, not finish it. That was someone is like they earn money and then they spend the money to the retreat. Or I saved 2-3 years, I worked and I saved money. Now I can go to the 3 years retreat. I want to spend enough. Okay, very good. You go to 3 years retreat. After 3 years retreat, you come back. Are you Buddha? Are you already enlightenment? If you're not, which kind of you be to alive. Maybe no chalet, no kind of the where you go. Maybe one day your friends, can I come to there one night, 2 night, 1 week, 2 week? Maybe yes, maybe not. And then it's like no money, maybe can you borrow? You have stomach, you need to eat. And then it's every day maybe sandwich, very difficult, even cannot buy sandwich. Then start to need look the accommodation and maybe getting job. It's very difficult during the 3 years. Maybe you practice very well, it's okay, but lazily you stay in the retreat place. Maybe you practice perfectly or not, I'm not sure. And then maybe try to a little meditate. Maybe your mind is a little bit educated, a calm mind. But when you come back, no chalet, no kind of the income money, now you need to think about business. Where can I go to get job? And how I can to go, where can I go? And then you can manipulate link to go to other place to try like this. It's not very good. In this perspective, I would to say it's like, maybe it's like to first time to get a little job, make business, not necessarily to cheat, to prepare the life a little bit, maybe to get some small shuttle and accommodation. And then it's like when you go to the retreat, maybe it's when you come back, maybe your income not, but your bags you can put someplace. At that time, I can to sleep there. Maybe it's like you don't worried about your accommodations. Then it's your address there, and then you can go to maybe few weeks, maybe 1 week you need to begging food, but it's okay, why not? To begging, but afterwards, maybe also if you are healthy, good, then maybe you can to get some small job, you can to survive, no problem. But without the preparations, go to like this, and then it's sometimes it is like my meaning is like when you finish it after 3 years retreat, you come back, then you start thinking about life. Maybe your age is some is reached 3 years, quite a lot, and difficult to get job. Then is start disturbed emotions coming, and then mind is become more worse than the before you go to the retreat. In this perspective, a little bit of before to prepare, and doesn't matter to make business or doesn't matter to get job. It's a little bit this wonderful. That's a kind of nonsense, but maybe benefit them. Some people says, I want to practice Dharma. I don't care money, I don't care food, I don't care the shuttles. It's not good because time is changed. For example, even in Tibet, okay, Buddhist country, and ancient times, if you're serious to practice Dharma, and really you honestly, you meditate to all the spend, everybody love you very much. They expect you become the great master. They offering to you food, they support you, everything. You never problems of food, clothes, and small shuttle. Particularly you be simple lives, they no problem. But these days, no. Many artificial things, and also modern times people is like more educated. Basically they don't believe any spiritualities. There's not. In this case, our own self preparation is very important. And my meaning is like this. Something is, if you want to make retreat, or maybe slowly life to turn the way of the Dharma, you need to prepare a little bit. And when we are preparing things, okay, good, why not? Sometimes it says, if I'm prepared, certainly I may die. What can I do? Die. Everybody needs to die. And a little bit in the way of the thinking in this life and the next life. So maybe it's in this life until in the body is survive. We need food, we need clothes, we need shuttle. We cannot all the time sleep on the train station or bus station. And also it's like our mind is not maturated. If we go to the forest, weather's cold, no food, I think we're fed up. and forget Dharma 100%. And therefore, it's like we need to help to ourselves, and therefore, a little bit preparations, maybe why not? I mean, it's this, forget it, it's nonsense chatting. And but sometimes this business is like this. If we are like not caring, if something is wrong, and then it's like yourself to others, maybe also in this life is not succeeded, and then it's during the making the business, you all the times cheating, lying, and doing that kind of involvement of the taking life. That what does it mean? Someone has created like animals factories, and you are not killing them, but you are like kind of the give condition to killing to the others. And like this kind of the negative involvement, or negative like kind of say, yesterday there is into this word, this wonderful things says like nothing could be effective in our mind, and like kind of the traders, commerce is like deteriorated our minds, and our mind is like worst deteriorate or the contaminated by the like doing the business things. And therefore it's like we need to taking care of it. And then it's but should they have some success, however much they make, it is never enough. Absolutely, also it is a truth. And sometimes it's making, there's one funny like how do you say it's idioms I forgot in Tibet, but actually like this. And sometimes we say some Tibetan people, they love money very much. They don't care that themselves. They working day and night, how much I earn, day and night, working. And then they save the money, how much I have, how much they saved. Then some in the certainly, they don't care. And the body, of course, this is like a kind of sensitive, certainly collapsed body. Maybe you work very hard all the years, and some is like, then certainly you got some serious sickness. And then you cannot continue, and then you need to go to the hospital, and then start your sickness horrible, your money is put in your hospital, everything's go to in the hospital. And like this is like kind of and as much as they earn money, as much as they have, is never ever satisfied. All the times greeting, demand, and want to like this. And this kind of when we have, maybe it's also is like kind of the contentment, like kind of the satisfaction. And of course, sometimes we are lucky, and maybe we have some in the past good karmas, not very much doing things, but like automatically successful. Then okay, good, but there's not much disattachment. You have, not really much like kind of the greedy or demon or clingy, something like this. Maybe much better than sometimes. And through the some business or the business persons is never ever have satisfaction or contentment. Even those who get as rich as the Beshemanai still take pleasure in their nefarious business deals. And also it's like maybe their business is very much successful. Is you can to become the competitor of the Beshermana, it's in Zambala. And then it's like if this kind of, but still they doing is a very ugly business kind of. Maybe it's like we can to say make joke. You are selling, trading your the diamond, maybe gold, maybe silver, and doing very much, you're successful, you are very much rich. But maybe there's something, if you create butchers, like kind of the slaughter place, it's become more successful, more than, oh really, maybe I can to create, I can to spend more money there. Like this kind of, sometimes also they pledge, they like kind of the nefarious business deal, means it's very criminal, like evil, like kind of the doing is hurting things. This kind of business, they don't care. Why not a little bit successful? I can do it. So it's like this. Sometimes it's true. Like some rich people, they are looking for, where is I want to my money to give a foundation. Probably it's like one company says, like, we are going to create here the slaughterhouse, like animals, like a butcher. And maybe it's like if you create something, you borrow to money, maybe we can to do, and then we become very successful. If you give like foundation to that to create, you are not tired of killing, but you think it's like to develop, invest, how do you say, investigate or invest your money, but it's very much nefarious business, ugly, evil, like these things. And someone is like a little kind of to receive the profit, is very much they want to do. They don't care that it's negative or non-negative. Like this. As the death finally close, on them, they will beat their breast on agonies. And what does it mean? It is like kind of the certainly death process start. Maybe your business is succeed, but still you are carrying it's like a dissatisfactions, never like kind of the enough. And also it's like maybe you try to do the many different and like kind of the business. And like a kind of in Tibet, we have idiom, very funny things. Some demanded or like kind of the strong desire persons, they want to try to collect themselves. They batting like kind of the hand on the rock, and it's like kind of under the earth to try to collect, and even the pulling out the hair of the rock. I don't know, rock has hair or not, and to a little to collect the whole their life, even is like there's so much works, and there is like fingers is almost like exhausting, and nails is hand is like going there, but still they work. And certainly like death process start, and during the business maybe you did all the times 10 negative actions, and then death process start, these materials cannot help, and also all the follow up your negative and the actions, you remember that there's so much kind of the ignite or the like kind of the panic, terrible like kind of the scaring, and like this, and then it's the difficult to die, and then they like kind of lamentation, they say I can't die, where's my things, they beat themselves in the breast and full of the like kind of marks like this. For there in the entire human life has been spent on such obsessions, and obsession, and like kind of the whole, and the kind of the entire human life is distracted and using the like kind of the meaningless way for only the obsession, or maybe it's like kind of the business and negative things. And then it's like finally we calculated, or maybe 100 years, maybe 80, 70 years. And then you calculate, you stayed in this world how many years, but you calculate everything is like negative way. Then it's like checking out times, need to go on from this world, then we don't know next like kind of life, like kind of God realms. There's a life spent in the God realms. When this death process starts, they see the next destination in the hell and such sufferings. Like also our human beings is like this. All the lifetimes, during the life, maybe you're healthy, and according to healthy, you are very arrogant, proud, and also you are quite rich, you are very jealousy, aggressive, and also it's like kind of the full of the desire, and like kind of the very much selfish, only concerning eyes. And then it's like you spend your life like this, and finally one is like picosecond is you reach in the death process. Then what is the result? Result is only the negative. Then is there's such a panic. Then is we lose everything in this world. Then if the next destination we don't know. And that moment says I want to create nice destination. Or maybe says I want to go to nice destination. We cannot choose. We need to follow up our like causalities, whatever we created cause, and follow up like this. Like we can to say the seed, okay? And this seed is when we put into the ground. And this seed is good or bad or rotten or not. And then it's like put there, and certainly fertilizers are coming. Then the seed is need to like kind of the open, and to shoot need to go out. And no choice, but is this shoot is good or bad, beginning the seed itself. If seed is something rotten, seed is something burned, seed is something, the seed is no choice. Seed cannot to grow up properly. And like this, when we are changing process, and during this life, like we are propelling consciousness, propelled it. Maybe propelled our consciousness in the periods, and now we have like in the presently propelled our consciousness. Now this consciousness or this present, we are creating something to accumulate it in order to grow up the next like kind of the generations. And then this is like now presently we creating, it's the same as, for example, the plant, the seed first flower, and then the seed is coming, then seed is like accumulated in order to grow up. And they get from the stain and fertilize it. If this seed can't get nice things, something wrong, and then there's maybe in the autumn there's seed, but if you put in the ground, again it's impossible to grow up. Like maybe it's very bad things happen. And like this is at the moment we are accumulating. We all the time to say negative accumulating, positive accumulating, this accumulating. Maybe this accumulating, this maturation is maybe sometimes immediately to ripen. Someone is not ripen 100% in the next life, next times. And today we're doing something, today immediately affect. Very rare. Maybe you can to say, argue with me. I'm taking tea now, I'm making now, according my action, and just 2-3 minutes I drink like this. This is immediate result. And also this is, if you logically, you say, I need tea, impossible. And you need to heat up the water. You put the tea, then you do milk. Everything afterwards there's coming. This is maybe for our perspective, maybe there's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. So it's immediate. This is also not immediate. Maybe it's like a second. For other sentient beings, maybe millions of years. And like this. And like we say, our human beings, half an hour, maybe it's like some other sentient beings, 30 years. They say human beings need to make tea, how long does it take? In the beginning, they start When the tea is finished, already 30 years. For our perspective, 30 seconds, like 30 minutes, half an hour. Like this is like the consequence all the time is doing and the result. Doing and the result. And therefore, it's like today we are accumulating and like a positive, negative. The consequence is coming next. Next, like kind of some people say it's like in this life, or I doing all the time is like kind of practice Vajrasattva, Hondo, and generating bodhicitta. My life is worse and worse. Why I need to do this? Of course, this one is immediately very difficult to maturations. Maybe still you have the negative, the result in there, not yet exhausted. And it's like it's a step by step. If we are under relatively to all those causalities, and it's like the kind of the duration or this sequential process of the cause and result, it's take time. And therefore some people says complain, I did many things worse and worse, and now I don't want. Then what you want? I don't know, I'm doing positive things, but my life is worse and worse. Yes, maybe it's your positive, maybe not positive. And also it's like in the past, maybe we done many negative things. But it's like reality, what we need to think about. Maybe presently a little bit happiness, okay, good. On top of that, maybe it's something you need to purify, but all the times obstacle something. Maybe you try to make a puja, you try to the prayer, you meditate, maybe it looks like not a function, doesn't matter. And like whatever you do, but we do not need to hesitations. And as much as do the positive things, then never ever we lost. And 100% is later, it's a maturation, is a coming. And therefore, it's like a virtue, doing kind of the virtue or the positive things is like our most important food. And whenever we have a chance, we need to eat, we need to do it. And also negative things are the kind of the negative, unpleasant, and the giver of the sufferings. As much as any kind of the chance to avoid, it is the very important. Like this. Okay, maybe we can just stop there is. With 10:30 we can start, okay?